Hey everyone, Only Run Very New, back, something a little different today. Normally on this channel I like to just play competitive games and talk about my plays, but I couldn't help but make a video about this crazy Riptide deck that I saw the other day. So I thought we'd do something a little different, a little fun. Normally for Riptide I just sideboard like I'm going to fatigue him, but yeah. So right off the bat we see kind of a weird helmet, we see Talishar and Goliath Gauntlet. I have no clue what he's up to. I think he's kind of trolling me a little, but as we will see, it's a really cool deck. So I'm just trying to get some damage. If I'm on the fatigue plan, normally this is the only turn that I'll get damage is the first turn, whether I go first or second. Of course, with Riptide, they can play a defense reaction, load up their arsenal, and play a defense reaction. They're like the only class that can get out from under dominate on turn 0. I'm going to see if we get some damage or if he had another react. He had another one. So he pops his helmet. And we get to see what he's up to. I'm going to move my camera a little here so we can kind of see what's going on. All these cards he revealed, I believe Nourishing Emptiness is the only attack in his deck. Okay, let me go back a bit. As we can see, he has like Memorial Grounds, Pummels, Codexes, some traps. I think he wants to Nourishing Emptiness me every turn of the game. Which is pretty cool. I don't think he's going to be able to, but that's definitely the first time I've ever seen anything like this. And it was definitely interesting enough for me to want to show you guys. I'm just looking through the chat to see maybe how many pummels he might have. Don't think I should be playing around pummel though, because I think I'm probably going to need my equipment if he's planning to Nourishing Emptiness me every turn. So we're just going to speed this up a little because most of what I wanted to show you has already happened. And the game plan for me is pretty simple. Still just try to fatigue him, but I want to be getting reactions in Arsenal so that I can stop that Nourishing Emptiness. Because when we look through all the cards he revealed when he activated his mask, he's got like Memorial Grounds and Codexes, and he could probably Nourishing Emptiness me 12 times this game. It's definitely really cool. I gotta appreciate the deck building. I'm not much of a deck builder myself. There's no way I could have come up with something like this. Um, it's just really cool, and I wanted to showcase it a little bit, something a little bit more fun. I don't think dominating Spinal here would have done too much since he just wants to throw one attack and he gets like a lot of instants. Maybe it would have stopped like a Codex play. So I just throw the Cranial Crush and move on. I end up paying the 1 here. I'm not sure exactly how his deck would win against my deck, but it's definitely very cool. Use armor and defense react. Honestly, I'm not even quite sure what he would use the extra intellect from Nourishing Emptiness on. Maybe it would allow him to block a little bit of damage and then have enough to like pummel the next Nourishing Emptiness. I definitely don't think the deck is like viable, but that's not the point. I think the point is just to try to do something cool and break it, because maybe one day something incredibly linear and combo-esque will be viable that does something like this. I come from Magic the Gathering, and I'm sure a lot of people do as well. But in that game, there's definitely decks that sort of resemble what my opponent is trying to do, just very linear, one card sort of combo plans. Something like Living End comes to mind. In Flesh and Blood, the only combo deck we really have is like Kano, which might resemble like a Storm Grape Shot type of deck. We don't have anything like Living End. We don't have anything like, I don't know, Tooth and Nail, if you remember playing way back in Mirrodin days. No like sneak attacking Emrakul or anything. And this deck just kind of really opened my eyes that maybe something sort of degenerate could be coming in the future. I really like to shout out my opponent, Dr. Reinar Schneider. I'm not sure if he built this deck, but I definitely haven't seen anything like this and haven't heard of anything like this talked before. It's just like a really cool deck. Not sure it's good enough to deal 40 damage, but maybe in Blitz something like this could be pretty cool. Take some people by surprise. And then in Blitz you might even be able to chip in the last 3 or 4 damage with traps. Definitely something to keep your eye on. Yep, he gets to save his arsenal with the trench. Not that that's really what I'm trying to accomplish here. I'm just trying to push damage and arsenal D-react. Probably should have just blocked with 2 cards and saved my D-react there, as a D-react and arsenal is probably just good enough to win the game. Ooh, Inertia Trap. That's pretty cute. Make sure his Nourishing Emptiness could go through. He doesn't Nourishing me though. He remembranced it back earlier in the game. I'm not sure if that's really what you want to do with all the Memorial Grounds and Codexes. You probably just want to keep the Nourishing in Graveyard so that you can throw it as often as possible. We just gotta let it here. We have no armor, no D-reactant arsenal. He gets to pummel us too. But as you can see in this game, even though I'm trying to like protect my life total and block out, still dealt like 19 damage to me. You get some value off this boulder trap. And my deck has like life gain and defense reacts, and so maybe something like this deck, once it's more refined, maybe could be good enough to sneak some wins in there. I don't see it being like a very strong deck, but maybe it's viable. Here we see a Slogism, so I guess if he gets to keep a huge hand, you can, maybe that's what the extra intellect is for, so he can play a Slogism and send a Nourishing for 12 Dominate. Not bad. He's playing like life gain and D-reacts. Playing Talishar because he can't play a bow and other arrows, because then obviously the mask wouldn't automatically find Nourishing Emptiness every game. Played that one from Arsenal, so he can't. No, he has another one from hand, so he gets to reload. And then just pretty much stop all my damage. Fortunately for him, we have a bunch of life gain and defense reacts. Not 100% sure how much life I gained this game, but if I didn't gain any life, I'm pretty sure I'd be lower than him right now. And he might be able to steal a game with a big dominant attack, or like a pummel. We have 3 codexes, 3 memorial grounds. I believe red memorial ground is the only one that can get a 2-drop back. And 3 nourishing emptiness. Maybe that's enough to cross the finish line against some decks. He even has the remembrance, so late game you can shuffle the not remembrance. You can shuffle the nourishing emptinesses back. And he plays like a bunch of life gain and defense reacts, and so maybe it might get there. I doubt it would against someone who knows to just maybe try to block. But a lot of decks don't really like to block, and if you can sneak in like the first couple nourishing emptinesses for the full damage, it might be hard for the opponent to actually stop the rest of them. But only like 3 codexes, 3 memorial grounds, 3 nourishing emptiness. Not sure how many remembrance he plays, only 1 in the banish right now. But with one remembrance and all that, that's still only 12 nourishing emptinesses. And if you block them each for 3, it's like 36 damage you would take. I guess he does have the Slogism and the Pummels though, so maybe there's enough to cross the finish line. Really cool deck though. I just wanted to showcase that, do something a little bit more fun. And I hope you liked the video. Sorry I don't have like a deck list for you guys. I wish I did. But maybe you could piece it together watching the video. Until next time. See you guys.